Greetings. How are you doing? How is everyone doing? I'm just in the process of going live on Instagram. So I just ask that you all have some patience with me while I get this going. There we go. I think we should be okay now. I think so. No, it's not working. Sorry about this. I don't know why my my device is behaving away. So I apologize about this. I have to shut it down. This is so unruly. There we go. Completely unruly. Okay, I think it's going to work now. We're good. We are live. Okay. So while we're here, we're about to start our next installation of our chats and talks, giggles, and all the nature, all the things. I'd like for you guys to just, comment in the chat below. Let me know how you are today. Let me know, is it you feeling green, yellow, red? Green, good to go. Yellow, not too sure. Red, things are not working well for you. Comment and let me know as we just wait for the algorithm to rhythm its algo thing. Today, I want to talk to you about letting go and understanding your basic standards of health. I've been having the conversation with you about how to transition, or the process of transitioning from one season to the other, from one transition of life to the other, right? And what that looks like, and different ways to pay attention to it, different ways to embody it. And so for today, I wanted to talk about the baseline standard of health, right? Because in the process of saying, okay, well, I recognize that it's a new season for me, whether it be an actual, biological or ecological season change, or an interior transition that's happening for yourself. What's always going to happen is there's always going to be an aspect of, I'm not sure what to do. I'm not sure how to move forward, or I have these things around me and I'm not quite sure what to do with them. And this is important to address because your physical body is your subconscious mind. It houses your spirit. I like to kind of explain that we are the physical body having an experience, but you really are a spiritual being having a physical experience. And when you understand that, and you recognize that your home is your body, your physical home is your body, and how you embody, how you can fill in your actual space and your energetic space, right? This makes all of the difference in how you present yourself, how you project yourself, how you deal with illness, how you deal with transitions. It's all very relative. And so one thing that I notice often is that many people actually don't have a really good rapport with their body. They don't necessarily pay attention to what's happening outside of regular functionings, needing to go to the bowel, needing to move your bowels, needing to urinate, feeling hungry or thirsty, fatigue, the regular daily things that happen to us. When the body is beginning to feel any kind of discomfort or pain or repetitive issue that is coming up for you, it's a sign, it's a signal for a few different things. It's telling you that there's something wrong. There's something physically potentially wrong with your body that needs to be checked. But also, depending on where the body is, it represents a different wisdom from a higher aspect of your being, your physical, emotional, mental, or spiritual body, right? So if you are having issues with your eyes, it can represent how you're seeing yourself, how you're seeing the world around you, how you're viewing physicality, how you're viewing spirituality, how you view yourself as a woman, if you're a female, how you view yourself as a man. This is what eye problems can represent, right? So if you are unable to slow down and start paying attention to what's happening to your body, then you're going to be left in the dark. So one thing I love to tell people to do is, okay, if you are able to figure this out, right? Slow down and listen to what your body is telling you. The vocabulary is going to be something completely different than what you're used to. Completely different than what you're used to. Most people are tuned in, locked into linear thinking. You ask a question, you get an answer. There is no answer. You move on to ask another question, this and that, the other. When we start to work with the consciousness of the body, of the being, of the soul, we begin to work with other forms of communication. And so this is where we start getting into the clairaudience, the clairvoyance, the clairsentience, the clairsmelliance, and all the different things. But the root problem is that we are completely disconnected. We have been trained to be counterintuitive, which is very counterproductive to individuals, to us as people, and to society as a whole. Because, your intuition comes to tell you certain things. Maybe you should eat this. Maybe you shouldn't eat this. Maybe these people are not your crew, your tribe. Maybe you shouldn't go here today because the vibe is not right. And how many times have you heard, an inkling or a voice or a thought or a feeling, and you've ignored it? And you went beyond your physical capacity, and you hurt yourself, you strained yourself, you ended up sick, or you injured somebody else, right? Or you broke something, or the environment wasn't conducive, or you ended up being in a big fight with somebody, or, something happened. When we receive information, we will oftentimes not listen to it for the sake of the ego, for the sake of the personality, right? For the sake of the personal will and what it wants. And we move forward with that, ignoring the needs of the being. So when we're not connected, when we're counterintuitive, and that would mean that, if your body says that it's craving a particular food, it's usually because there's a mineral deficiency that you're missing, and it's asking you for that specific mineral via the craving that it's having, right? And you might be saying, oh, I really feel for this right now, but I don't want to get up and do it. I'm not going to do it. And so you just kind of revert back to what it is you already know. There's a bag of chips right here. There's some popcorn that I've been feeding on. Although it's not doing me well, my bowels are hurting. I've got gas. I'm still going to eat this because that's what it is. I don't feel like getting up and preparing what my body is asking me for. I'm going to take what eat what I have easy access to. Okay. And this is along the lines of what I'm thinking, right? When you are, example, for women specifically, and even more specific, women who experience their menstrual cycles. If you are experiencing your menstrual cycle, oftentimes before your menstrual cycle and during your menstrual cycle, you're probably going to have the feeling that you don't want to go out, right? You want to just kind of close things down, prepare for whatever it is that's, coming over the next couple of days, minimum movement. You might want to just be really quiet, and your menstrual cycle begins, your period starts. But life has it that you happen to be very, very in your masculine and feel as though you still have to do things for everyone and everything. And this means that instead of resting, your body is screaming for you to rest. You've decided to take it upon yourself to complete the task that someone else has asked you to do. And you feel as though, this needs to get done because they've asked you for it. It's not a priority, mind you, but you want to get it done, right? Or you feel as though there's a whole bunch of other things around the house that need to get done because you just can't be there and see it not get done, basically, right? And this is going against your nature. It's going against the intuition that your body is trying to give you. Hey, listen, Odessa, I'm really tired right now. You've done a lot. I need to rest. I need to rest. I need you to rest right now because we have a big week ahead. You have a big project ahead. And your actual starting line is here now, how well you rest. And so If I don't pay attention to that, then I'm going to think that I can do all the things and be really busy. And when that Tuesday morning comes along and this big, project that I'm working on needs to be addressed, I don't have the energy that I was hoping that I would have because I was running myself ragged. I didn't pay attention to my needs. I didn't pay attention to how much time I needed to rest. And so now I'm feeling tired and exhausted, right? So it's important to understand what your basic standards of health are, because within that scope, here is where you understand, okay, well, what are my boundaries? Where can I push? When do I feel full and satisfied? When can I offer from my overflow? When am I creating thieves out of people when I'm giving from a place that I don't have the energy? Right, I've got all these alarms going off, people calling me, all the things, guys. I'm busy, I'm giving it, right? So, understanding this and being in that space of saying, okay, I'm going to spend a little bit more time figuring out what it is that I need. And so, how this looks is oftentimes really sitting down and saying, okay, physically, what does my body need? How many times do I need to move physically a week to feel good? Right? What kind of physical movement do I like to do? And am I doing it because they say it's good to do, or am I doing it because I want to do it? What kind of nutrition do I need? Right? And nutrition isn't only food wise, but most definitely, what kind of food do I need? What am I craving? Right? Sometimes your mouth might be craving something juicy and watery. So look for those kinds of foods and fruits. I am really about getting people to tap into what it is that you need. So you can understand what it is that you need rather than thinking about what has been placed in your mind by external influences, right? Yes, there are things that you do need to do without thinking or just come up naturally, but there's also aspects of the self that speak up and speak out. And I want you to have a better understanding of how to identify it and how to respond. Right? Mentally, right? What is a paradigm that you're in? What have you been thinking about? What kind of world have you created? What are your core values, right? How do you perceive things? Do we listen and not judge, right? And if we do, are there things that we need to shift and change because how I'm thinking about the circumstance is affecting me, right? My outlook on that is affecting, my results, and then also we're looking at our feelings as well too. This is how I feel about these situations, these circumstances. These are my triggers. Are these things that I want to move forward with? Everything is interconnected together. And when we slow ourselves down and come to this understanding, because it's all related, it's all related, then we can begin to rearrange the pastiche of who you are, the texture of who you are. I like to kind of describe it as like a three-dimensional a portrait where we go into this image of the self and we look around, we walk around the contours behind the body, behind the whatever it is, to see all the things that we didn't see because we only have a particular way, a particular perspective, right? So, understanding what it is that you need, giving yourself time to ask what it is what do I need to feel fulfilled? What kind of quality time do I need? What kind of quality gifts do I need? What kind of quality touch do I need? What kind of quality words do I need to hear? What kind of affirmations do I need to hear? Right? Setting yourself up in a way that creates a feeling of security, of foundation, a sense of well-being, right? And you are able to answer to your needs, which very much firms up your boundaries, right? And creates a healthier platform, for lack of a better word, right? That you get to work with, move from, and step forward, from, because this is the foundation that you've built. And so it's important to prepare for this, right? And so as you begin the process of understanding what your baseline standard of health is in whatever situation it is, whether it's a breakup, whether it's a new relationship, whether it's a new job, whether you're going through chronic health conditions, whether, whatever the circumstances are, I have found this to be crucial and important when it comes to an individual being able to set their compass towards their North Star. Right? Because then you see what no longer works for you. There's this saying that goes on, and I've said it before in my lives, but whoever you are here now today will not be the same person that will bring you into the future. Your future self is not the same person that you are today. Why? We talk about those valleys and those dips and those hills. And what happens is every layer, each time you go down into a valley, a layer of you is revealed. And so who you were before can't work. Now that, hey, I absolutely need to make sure that I have X amount of sleep. I can't play around with my sleep. No, I'm not going to be lackadaisical in this. I'm not going to give someone else my time, because I realize that I'm on point. I'm sharp. I get the work done, and I'm extremely effective with this minimum amount of sleep. So now you understand that your baseline standard of health recognizes that this is minimum for you, so that as you're moving forward, you can add on to that. You add on to that and you build onto that. Okay, I recognize that it's okay for me to have a little bit of this here, this dairy here maybe, but when I do eat it or eat too much, I'm bound to the toilet, and we don't want this, right? So then now you have to make the decision. Is this something that I'm going to continue to do? I enjoy doing it, but it doesn't benefit me, right? My body doesn't enjoy it. My recovery time means that, I have 24 hours where I'm not at my best. I'm feeling foggy. My body's recovering. I can't do what I have to do. And then I still have to get back up and perform at optimal levels, right? So understanding what needs to be let go of, what you no longer need, what you're moving forward with. As you're moving forward, I no longer need these things. And this is where we come to that point of releasing. Now I've reevaluated and I can release. I'm going to release these things, and then I'm going to clear out and clean out. And this is then when you would administer your cleanse and your detoxing and all these kinds of things. So there's a whole process that I particularly like to walk through, because I find that it's easy to just say, hey, I'm going to go from here to here, but you don't take that moment, you don't take that time to really acknowledge how you got here and figure out, what the actual pivot is going to be, so that your best next move is going to stick. You know what I mean? Like that it's going to be effective. You don't have to come back and do it again. You don't have to second guess. You don't think that you're not going to be ready. You don't know what you need. You don't know what your possible effects are. You know what your basic standard of health is. Okay. So I wanted to come on and share this with you all, because it is a part of the process. When we are looking at natural medicine, when we're looking at wellness in general, when we step away from our general health practitioners, our doctors, our hospitals, our regular clinics, and pharmaceutical drugs, and we look at the natural world around us, it requires that we think differently. It requires that we think differently about ourselves, about how we are responding to the environment, how we are responding to ourselves, and really make the decision to be conscious about what it is that we are bringing into our environment, so that it will create more positive vibration, healing vibration, that type of thing there. So I would love, as we come to the end of this, once again, I always ask, what are your biggest takeaways? What is it that you found today to be very helpful, that you think that you're going to think about a little bit more, sit with a little bit more, contemplate a little bit more? Is there anything that you're actually going to integrate? I would love to know. And if there's something that you don't understand, please let me know, because I would love to break this down with you so that we can understand together. All right. So with that being said, I wish you a wonderful afternoon, evening, night, good morning, or good day, wherever you are. And I'll be back again sharing some more tips and tricks with you. All right. Take care. Peace.